which is the second planet from the Sun, is sometimes referred to as the Hell planet due to the severe and terrible conditions that it is subjected to. Venus is given its name because it stands in stark contrast to Earth, which is why it is called Venus. Venus, which is regarded to be Earth's sister planet due to its size and composition, reveals a harsh and mysterious world that is impossible to compare to our own. This is because Venus is so much larger than Earth. Venus is the same as Earth in terms of both its size and its composition, which explains why this is the case. The planet was discovered in ancient times. Nevertheless, it was not until the advent of telescopes in the 17th century that its physical properties began to be appreciated more clearly. The planet's discovery dates back to ancient times. Although Venus was one of the first celestial bodies to be found due to its dazzling look, it was not immediately recognized for its peculiar and harsh climate. This was despite the fact that Venus was one of the first celestial bodies to be identified. After the advent of space study in the 20th century, the full extent of Venus's harsh conditions began to become known to the general public. This material was made available to the general public for the very first time. Venus is the planet that is the second closest to our parent star, with an average distance of approximately 108 million kilometers around the Sun. This placed Venus in the position of being the second nearest planet to our star. It has a diameter of around 12,104 kilometers, which is roughly equivalent to that of the Earth. However, its environment is entirely dissimilar to that of the Earth, an extraordinarily dense layer of gases with carbon dioxide having the highest concentration and thick clouds of sulfuric acid make up the atmosphere of Venus. Carbon dioxide is the gas with the highest concentration. A pressure that is roughly 92 times higher than the pressure that is present on Earth is produced by this mixture when it is brought to the surface. The pressure that is present at a depth of around 1 kilometer in the oceans of the Earth is comparable to the pressure that is present here. Venus is a planet that is sensitive to extreme heat since its surface temperatures can reach an average of 465 degrees Celsius, 869 degrees Fahrenheit, which indicates that the planet is likely to experience extreme heat. This intense heat is the result of a greenhouse effect that has grown out of control and is now out of control entirely. As a result of the thick atmosphere that is abundant in carbon dioxide, this effect takes place when the heat that is radiating from the surface of the planet is unable to escape into space because it is trapped when the atmosphere is thick. Even though Venus is further away from the Sun than Mercury, it nevertheless has the greatest surface temperatures of any planet in the solar system. This is due to the fact that Venus is the planet with the highest surface temperatures. It is currently difficult to see the surface of Venus due to the thick, impenetrable clouds that cover the planet. These clouds continue to hide the surface of Venus. In addition to the fact that these clouds, which are primarily composed of sulfuric acid, contribute to the corrosive atmosphere of the planet, they also reflect sunlight, which places Venus in the position of being one of the brightest objects that can be seen in the night sky. Due to the high atmospheric pressure and the existence of clouds that are corrosive, landing on Venus is an endeavor that is incredibly challenging to accomplish. An illustration of this can be seen in the fact that the Venera missions that were carried out by the Soviet Union throughout the 1960s and 1970s were only partially successful. Nevertheless, because of the severe conditions, These missions were only able to last for a short period of time. However, they were able to provide a substantial amount of data. Through the utilization of radar mapping, which was carried out by the Magellan spacecraft of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration in the early 1990s, significant information regarding the surface of Venus was gathered. Magellan's observations revealed a landscape that consisted of highland zones, volcanic plains, and impact craters of similar scale. This was the geography that Magellan discovered. It is believed that the massive volcanic plains that cover the surface of the Earth are the result of volcanic activity that took place in the past. These plains are found all over the world. There are a number of huge volcanic formations that may be found on Venus, including Matterhorns and Sifmons, to name just two examples. These formations, both in terms of their size and their shape, provide evidence that there has been a significant amount of volcanic activity in the immediate past. The volcanic features that have been discovered on Venus are among the most exciting discoveries that have been made about the planet. There are shield volcanoes and large volcanic domes on the surface of the planet. According to observations made on the surface of the planet, with heights that can reach up to 8 kilometers, 5 miles, in the sky, several of these volcanoes, including Matterhorns, are among the largest in the solar system. Matterhorns is one of the volcanoes that can reach such heights. The slow ejection of lava results in the building of a unique type of volcanic structure known as pancake domes, which are broad dome-shaped structures. Pancake domes are characterized by their peculiar appearance. Venus is the location where this particular type of volcanic formation can be found. In addition, the wind patterns that are present in Venus's atmosphere are something that stands out at large. Because the winds that blow through the upper atmosphere can reach rates of up to 360 kilometers per hour, 224 miles per hour. This results in a super-rotational pattern in which the atmosphere circles the planet at a rate that is far faster than the rate at which the planet rotates. The outcome of this is a phenomenon in which the topmost clouds of Venus complete a rotation around the planet in around 4 Earth days, but it takes the planet itself approximately 243 Earth days to complete one spin. A day on Venus, which is defined as the length of time that moves from one dawn to the next, is longer than a year on Venus, which is roughly equivalent to 225 days on Earth. A day on Venus is defined as the amount of time that passes between sunrises. It is peculiar that Venus revolves in the opposite direction from the majority of the planets in the solar system, which rotate in the same direction. This is because Venus is retrograde, which means that it rotates in the opposite direction. On Venus, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, which is the opposite of the rotation that occurs on Earth, which is towards the east. If one were to stand on Venus, they would be able to observe the sun in this manner. Additionally, the planet's retrograde spin is a feature that contributes to the extreme temperatures that are found on its surface. This is in addition to the planet's slow rotation time. The reason for this is that the globe is able to absorb the heat that comes from the sun, which is then dispersed over the entire Earth. There have been recent scientific expeditions and research that continue to investigate the planet Venus. Additionally, new spacecraft and technologies are being developed in order to further investigate the mysteries that surround the planet. It is the goal of future missions to learn more about the geological history of the planet, the conditions of its surface, and the makeup of the atmosphere that surrounds the planet. As an illustration, the Da Vinci and Veritas missions, both of which are scheduled to launch within the next few years, will have the purpose of performing study on the surface and atmosphere of Venus at a level that has never been seen before. The purpose of their investigation is to gain an understanding of the tectonic processes, volcanic activity, and the potential that the planet was once livable. This is their mission. In conclusion, Venus is a spectacular example of the diversity that can be found among the planets that make up our solar system. The combination of corrosive clouds, crushing air pressure, and extreme temperatures results in an atmosphere that is extraordinarily harsh and entirely dissimilar to anything that can be found on Earth. Planetary research is characterized by its dynamic and frequently surprising nature, which is exemplified by the investigation of Venus, which began with the initial observations and has continued with the most recent missions. In addition to this, it exhibits the intricacy of the worlds that are located in close proximity to our own in the universe. Would you like it? Hit the like button and subscribe to our channels for more interesting and informative videos.